Hello everyone, thanks for joining us for this webinar illustrating our integration solution for Blackbaud and Salesforce. For those who haven't encountered us before, we're SmartTHING. We've been working with Blackbaud since before 2009, building low-cost add-ons and integrations, basically tools that help streamline your work and automate your daily tasks. Our focus is on making things more secure and efficient and affordable for you as a non-profit organisation. I'm Warren Scherlicker. I'm the founder and CEO here at SmartTHING. I've spent over 20 years working with non-profits and Blackbaud products. I'm a place to work with thousands of non-profit organisations around the world. And in this work, I've seen the need for practical, transparent, and low-cost solutions to connect all your systems and simplify the way that you handle data. That's why I set up SmartTHING in the first place. Now, today's topic for the webinar is integration for Blackbaud and Salesforce. So during the session, we're going to cover a few key points. Firstly, we'll look at the challenges that can arise from relying solely on one CRM system for non-profits, where you might encounter limitations with fundraising features or regional tax compliance if you try and use systems that aren't dedicated to non-profit arena. And we'll look especially at Blackbaud and Salesforce in this context. We'll introduce you to our solution for this, which is SmartSALESFORCE. The core idea is that it provides seamless automated data synchronization between Blackbaud and Salesforce. It's in real time, which enables your organization to get the best of both worlds. And finally, we'll demonstrate the practical benefits through an example video where we'll show you the system in use and how it can really impact your daily tasks. And there will be a section at the end for a Q&A, so please do have questions in mind, and at that point you'll be able to get some answers for anything that pops up during the presentation. Right then, so let's have a proper look at some of the snags you hit when you're thinking about your organization's CRMs. The two big questions that we often hear are, we use two CRMs, what happens if they don't talk to each other? And conversely, can't we just use one system for everything? So we'll look at both of those for the next 5 minutes or so. So let's first take the question of the two CRM situation when they're not talking to each other, and we'll consider Blackbaud and Salesforce. So Blackbaud is often used to hold your financial and giving data, or the financial data relating to giving, plus your in-depth prospects and other fundraising related data. And Salesforce, if it's used in a larger organization, might be dedicated towards marketing and sales efforts. One of your daily tasks that you would have with these systems is that you're trying to report on the data within them. Obviously, if you've got data within Blackbaud and Salesforce and they're not being shared, reporting can be fragmented. And you're also missing your overall view of your constituents. So if a constituent has some information on their giving and you're not seeing that within Salesforce, you can't make your decisions in an informed way. So as we say, data in separate systems gives you gaps and incomplete data. The bottom line is that having two systems operating in isolation significantly impacts your efficiency. Your staff are spending valuable time on manual data retrieval tasks instead of focusing on what your core mission is. Inconsistent and conflicting data leads to errors, erodes trust from your supporters, and hinders effective decision making. And overall productivity takes a hit because you lack a single accurate view of your constituents and their complete interactions with your organization. So we do need to synchronize the data between the systems. But what about relying on staff to manually synchronize that data? Well, that can lead to delays and potential errors. Manual data synchronization only happens when staff are there, not on a 24/7 basis. So you come across questions like, when can I generate my report? Who do I need to check with first? With manual processing also, you can't be sure that 100% of the time your business rules are being applied. Errors can leak in. With the best of efforts, it's still possible for manual errors to occur. So now going back to that second question, can't we just use one system for everything? Obviously that would take out the synchronization needs, but and it sounds like a sensible approach, but fundraisers and alumni teams have very different needs compared to other organizational users. So a dedicated fundraising CRM like Blackbaud can handle aspects like online donation forms and portals, gift aid and tax receipts, gift stacks. There's already pre-built reports on all the breakdowns that a fundraiser would need to know about. Soft credits, stock gifts, tributes, the list goes on. Now you could get a generic CRM like Salesforce and build out custom areas for this information, but it's a lot of work, and these customizations could affect the use of your other users, maybe overcomplicating their tasks. And of course, it requires IT support in keeping the knowledge of what the customizations are, maintaining them, building upon them, and as new features come out, adding to them. It's highly likely that the eventual systems customizations would not cover the full breadth of functionality that something like Blackbaud has out of the box. And then what about the less obvious effects? Let's consider recruitment. Rather than being able to recruit from a large number of fundraisers that are out there that already know how to use Blackbaud systems, you would have to train your new fundraisers on your customized version of the system, which delays their effective deployment on actual fundraising and limits the pool of recruitment that you can go to. So taking these two questions, it now looks as if for efficiency and productivity, we really need to run two systems, Blackbaud and Salesforce, but they need to be synchronized together to allow you to work efficiently with them. And that's what we'll be looking at next. So let's cover the basics and about our solution, SmartSALESFORCE. So what is SmartSALESFORCE? In simple terms, it's an integration application. It bridges the two systems, Blackbaud and Salesforce. Now, it isn't a standalone one-off bit of kit that we've built for this. It's actually part of a much larger set of integrations provided by our SmartSYNC platform. And this platform has been around for many years. And although SmartSALESFORCE is a relatively newer member of it, the platform itself ensures that that's a robust, reliable, and flexible solution for you. If we'll cover some of the benefits of SmartSYNC's platform later, but one thing to bear in mind is that it can connect to almost any application out there. So if you want to extend its use further than just Salesforce, you can use it as an integration hub that connects all of your systems. Right then, let's dive into how SmartSALESFORCE can really make a difference. These are the 5 key areas that we think bring the point across to you. So, automation. It's all about saving you time, isn't it? So Salesforce automates your data syncs 24/7, working away in the background and using your business rules to push and pull data all the time. Data quality. We're not just moving the data, we're making sure it's good data. So as it moves the data between the systems, it applies validation, tidying of the data, and making sure that it's all correct before it goes into the other systems. Accuracy. So for your data, wherever you're looking at it, is already in sync with all the latest information that's available to your organization. That means your teams can make better and more informed decisions. They know that what they're looking at is the latest information. It's efficient. So less time is spent on admin tasks and overheads of moving data around. It does that for you, which means that your staff can do something more towards your core aims. And then consistency. So your reporting is going to be based, whichever system you're using, on the latest data. So it's all going to be accurate. You're not reliant on other people to come and to say that they've uploaded data ready for your report. It's already there. You know it's there. So how flexible is Smart Salesforce? Well, it's pretty versatile. It can handle syncing all sorts of data between the systems. So with Salesforce, we can get to all of the different entities in Salesforce, even if they're custom data. So contact, accounts, leads, opportunities, and more, and all those custom fields that you might have built out. In fact, you might add extra fields because of the synchronization. Like you might want to add a cumulative giving field, so you can see within Salesforce the total amount of giving this person has given you via the Blackbaud system. In terms of Blackbaud, so with Blackbaud CRM, we've got all of the entities covered there as well. Constituents, gifts, educations, events. So we can push and pull all this data or summarize it and push information to Salesforce or from Salesforce. And the same with ResEdge NXT. So we've got coverage of all the different fields there. So constituents, gifts, educations, event and participation. And that list is actually growing as Blackbaud add more features to NXT. So, okay, let's say you want to go ahead with setting up Smart Salesforce. What does that involve and how does the go live process work? Our team have expertise in both Blackbaud and Salesforce, so we'll work with you to design your perfect integration. We'll chat with you about the hosting requirements of the service, so whether you want to have need because of your record counts, shared or dedicated hosting, and then we'll set up a test environment and have a few goes with that to make sure that the system is working in the right way. And that test environment can either be with your test environments for Salesforce and NXT, or it can be on a subset of data within your systems. So maybe only records that have email addresses in your domain, your organization's domain, so only your staff can test the system. But yeah, we can be flexible on how to set up those test environments. And all the time we'll be working with your team to ensure it is still fitting your requirements. And then after you go live, we don't just leave it there. That's a bit of a difference with our service. We monitor the service after it's live, and we'll make sure that it's always running smoothly for you. So that brings us into our day-to-day use of Smart Salesforce. So for everyday use, Smart Salesforce comes with a handy dashboard where you can keep an eye on your data flows. But really it's designed to be a set and forget, a managed service that just ticks along nicely in the background. Our SmartSYNC team are always there, monitoring the service and fixing any little hiccups and letting you know if anything actually needs your attention. We take a lot of pride in delivering integrations that just work. As for pricing, we've kept it simple and cheap. We offer transparent and low-cost yearly plans. You can grab a plan for just Smart Salesforce, or you can use SmartSYNC as a hub, as we mentioned earlier, for integrations where we have 3 app and enterprise bundles available. So we mentioned it briefly before, but let's explain a bit more about the platform. So Smart Salesforce is one of the systems that sits on our SmartSYNC platform. But because of that, it also benefits from a lot of the properties of our platform, which are quite wide-ranging. So security, we have ISO 9001 and 27001 accreditation as an organization, and we've used that when building the SmartSYNC platform. We've got regional servers, so we can put servers in your region of the world. If you wish to, we've got AI features that you can use within your processing. So it's like virtual data experts can be part of your integration. They can look at the data, summarize it, or manipulate it in some way. It connects to everything. That's a bit broad, that, but our platform can connect to almost every system out there, from email platforms to portals to web forms to file imports, everything. So we've already pre-built 70 custom-built sort of integrations that you can purchase, or we can build custom ones to your needs. That gives you a flavour of the SmartSYNC platform anyway. So we've now talked about how Smart Salesforce works. Now let's walk through a real-time demo. If anyone's interested, this is in AI, you might want to note that this coming video features an AI avatar version of myself. That's why it sounds slightly different. Anyway, here we go.
In this quick demo, we'll show you how near real-time data synchronization can benefit your organization. So let's walk you through a demo of how Smart Salesforce works in practice. We're going to use a scenario here. In this case, we're looking at someone in a marketing role who's working with Salesforce. They've had an update from someone who is also a key donor to the organization. Now that's important to your fundraisers. They use Blackbaud Razor's Edge NXT in this example. However, you don't need to worry about that. You are using Salesforce and are simply updating the address. So let's say it's Andy Young's record. We will say that his address is now 5 Park Avenue, Albertville, with zip code 61000. Maybe we'll make another change as well. We'll change the phone number to 6000123. Okay, so what we do now is we save that, and you can now see the updated record. If we pop over to NXT, you can see it's showing older details currently. This is expected, as the sync will take a few minutes to see the changes and push them over. So let's wait a couple of minutes. One thing to note in the meantime is the Salesforce ID alias. This is something that will populate as part of the onboarding, and any record with the Salesforce ID will tie back to a record in Salesforce. Now I'll skip forward a few minutes in the video so we can see the updated record. It actually took 3 minutes in this case, but it can take a few more minutes than that sometimes. There we go. You can now see the new address. 5 Park Avenue, Albertville, with zip code 61000, and you can also see the new phone number came through. So this is quite powerful stuff. Your users, wherever they are and whatever system they use, always have the latest data to hand. More than that, your business rules have been applied throughout. Only the records you chose are synchronized, and it's all happening automatically in the background 24/7. You can synchronize other information than this demo's basic contact details. It can also be a bidirectional sync, pushing information to Salesforce when it is updated in NXT. For example, if I update the address in NXT, that will push through to Salesforce. Or maybe a new gift is added in NXT, and we automatically update the summary information on the Salesforce record for total giving, last gift amount, and last gift date. All of that is possible with Smart Salesforce and will be covered during your onboarding. This has been a quick demo of the capabilities of our Smart Salesforce product. It showed how real-time integrations can revolutionize your work and help your teams achieve their goals efficiently.
So just summarizing the main points from that video. There was an update in Salesforce of a contact's address and then phone number, and then that pushed through to Razor's Edge, where after Smart Salesforce detected the change, and it appeared within a few minutes. And the sync can be bidirectional and can cover a lot of different bits of information. Right, let's have a quick recap of the benefits and impacts you'll see from using SmartSYNC and Salesforce. Talk about real tangible improvements here, not just marketing buzzwords, but first up, what do you get with all of our Smart Salesforce integrations? Why integrate at all? Well, it's about time savings and increased efficiency. No more manual data transfer between systems. It's automated, which means less time wasted on admin and more time for the stuff that actually matters. You'll get improved data accuracy and reliability. Manual data processing, that's where data errors creep in. SmartSYNC eliminates that, ensuring your data is consistent across your systems. and this in turn leads to enhanced reporting and decision making. You're working with accurate, up-to-date data so you can make informed choices. And of course, it reduces the risk of human error. We've all been there, haven't we? One wrong keystroke and you've got a problem. SmartSYNC takes away that risk, ultimately means better data, better connections with your constituents. Now let's focus on what makes SmartSALESFORCE so useful. And here's the key. It means you can get the best of both worlds. There's no need to choose between Blackbaud or Salesforce. Have both. One of the biggest wins is the unified constituent view. We're breaking down these data silos. Imagine your fundraising team in Blackbaud can see engagement activities from Salesforce, and your marketing team in Salesforce can see essential giving information from Blackbaud, all while respecting data access permissions naturally. This leads to streamlined fundraising processes. A new donation in Blackbaud, SmartSALESFORCE can automatically push that into Salesforce, triggering thank you emails or campaign updates. No manual intervention needed. Similarly, contact updates in Salesforce update Blackbaud. Your mailing lists are always spot on. Then there's enhanced marketing effectiveness. Having giving data from Blackbaud in Salesforce lets you create targeted, personalized campaigns. Segment your audience based on giving history, tailor your messaging, and you'll increase engagement and giving. If you're managing sales in Salesforce, SmartSALESFORCE keeps that aligned with Blackbaud. Track product sales in Salesforce and have summaries in Blackbaud. A complete view of your supporters' involvement. And it's all designed for scalability and flexibility. You configure it to sync the data that's most important to you and adjust the rules as your needs change. Finally, a word on security and support. We take these seriously. We're ISO 27001 and 9001 certified. We offer regional servers, and you can even have your own server within your own Azure infrastructure if you need that level of extra control. And of course, our support team are always on hand to help you get the most out of SmartSALESFORCE. So if you're ready to see it in action, you can book a demo on our website and walk you through a demo specific to your needs. Right, so that about wraps up our session. We've covered the key benefits of SmartSALESFORCE, and hopefully you've got a clearer picture of how it can streamline your data and improve your workflow. Sure, you've got some questions and we're keen to answer them. So I'm going to hand back over to our host, who will be moderating the Q&A sessions. On screen, you can see a few of the ways that you can get in contact with us, but I'm sure there'll be links circulated after the webinar too.